कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीद सादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभानुमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं सत्यसायिनम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्वेषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः निजानुकामे एन्यञ्जलिका अमीवाचमुपासतामिति तस्मै सर्वरतवो नमन्ते मर्यादाकरत्वात् प्रपुरोधाम् ब्राह्मण आप्नोति य एवं वेद स खलु संवत्सर एतैः सेनानीभिः सह इन्द्राय सर्वान् कामानभिवहति इन्द्राय सर्वान् कामानभिवहति सदप्सः तस्यैषा भवति ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Om Sri Sai Ram, offering our collective love at the divine lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri 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 Satya Sai Baba Varu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Hari Om, Shalom, Sai Ram, Namaste. We are in the sixth Anuvakam of Aruna Prishna, completed the mantra 18, and now the last mantra associated with the Rutu Mandalam. First is Rutu Mandalam, then will come Surya Mandalam. Mandalam means constellation. Rutu Mandalam is the constellation of the 6 Rutus, how they manifest and shine in the context of this universe or in the world. So the last mantra we're talking about Tasmai Sarvaratavo Namante Maryada Karatvat Prapurodham Brahmana Apnoti. So the one who is abiding by the Maryada of the Rutus, Maryada meaning paying attention and completely aligned, synchronized with the seasons, will achieve the highest. Prapurodham apnoti. And we went to the related mantra in the Bhruguvalli in Taittiriya Upanishad, how the same concept is declared in the 10th Anuvaka, 4th mantra of the Bhruguvalli. That the principle of Brahman and Aditya are one and the same, and the one who is following those will be aligned with the Brahman himself. The concept of Sandhya Vandanam is also 100% related that only. Sandhya Vandanam is synchronizing our gunas with the Sandhya at the cusp of transition of the gunas with the Supreme Brahman from which these gunas manifest themselves. And in such a case, the person will be indeed the Samvatsara himself, and all these different seasons and their chiefs are ready to do whatever is needed for that individual. And Brahmavid Brahma eva bhavati. So the one who is aware of the Brahman will become the Brahman himself. That Brahman, once you have realized the Brahman, you cannot be restricted to one place. Expansion happens. Sadrapsaha. Then you start melting yourself. And that melting happens, the full cycle is coming back again. So yesterday I think we went through Krishno Dashabhis Sahasrai. So let's start with those mantras. Avadrapso agum shumati matishtat.
Avadrapso agum shumatimatishtat. Avadrapso agum shumatimatishtat.
Sairama, I think is it me or your output volume is low? Make sure maybe my output volume is. Everybody could hear him, okay?
Yes, Shekhar, we can hear it.
Okay. Okay. Now chant one more time. Om.
Om Avadrapso agum shumatimatishtat. Avadrapso agum shumatimatishtat.
Yanah Krishno dashabhis sahasraihi.
Iyanah Krishno dashabhis sahasraihi. Iyanah Krishno dashabhis sahasraihi.
Avartamindrashacha dhamantam.
Avartamendrashatyadhamantam. Avartamendrashatyadhamantam.
Upasnuhitanrmanamathadramiti.
Upasnuhitanrmanamathadramiti. Upasnuhitanrmanamathadramiti.
Avadrapso agum shumati matishtat. Yanah Krishno dashabhis sahasraihi. Avartamindrashacha dhamantam. Upasnuhitanrmanamathadramiti.
Avadrapso agum shumatimatishtat. Iyanah Krishno dashabhis sahasraihi. Avartamendrashatyadhamantam. उपस्नुहि तन्नृमणामथद्रामिति
अवद्रप्सः अंशुमतीम् अतिष्ठत् यानः कृष्णः दशभिः सहस्रैः आवर्तम् इन्द्रः शच्या धमन्तम् yes it is dhamantam upasnuhi tam nrumanam athadram iti. Those are the words in that first 4 lines of the mantra. Avadrapsaha, that which has melted. Amshumatim atishthat. Amshumatim means the earth. Atishthat have reached the earth. Yanaha, those waters. Dashabhihi sahasraihi, as tens and thousands. Krishnaha, for cultivation. So that which has melted has come down to the earth, and those as waters in tens and thousands are important for cultivation. Krishnaha. See, you are all wondering now, this Krishna is the God Krishna, no? So you have, that's what I was saying, in the context of Veda mantras, you have to know what is the context in which it is used. The word Krishna himself has, as the Lord Krishna that we worship, has 3 meanings associated with it. One of them is Krishiyati iti Krishnaha, the one who cultivates. The one who cultivates is Krishna. Krushi, Krishna, in the context of this mantra, it is cultivation. Indraha avartam. Indraha, this is the Indra. Avartam comes frequently with what? Shecha, Shechi. Shechi is the consort of Indra. Shecha, along with Shechi, Dhamantam, with sounds of thunder. So that is actually contextualizing here. When this rain is flowing from the top, there is also the presence of the Indra along with his power and with thundering sounds. Nrumanam. Nrumana means people, humans or beings desired by these people. Athadram tam upasnuhi iti. Athadram means dram is flowing downwards. Dram is flow, or dram means melted and flow. Dram is this flow downwards. Tam, see in that words that there is a atam, athadram tam upasnuhi. Upasnuhi, understand or meditate upon this. So in essence, what this mantra is saying is that which has melted now reaches the earth for cultivation in tens and thousands, and along with that flow downwards is accompanying the thunder, which is the power of Indra. Drumanam, all of this is happening. This flow that is coming off all of that from upwards to downwards. When you meditate upon it, it is coming down because it has been desired or prayed for by the people. So the Yajamana or the Arunaketuka Agni with tens of thousands of rays causes the downward fall of the rain. And he does so in order to help with the production of the food, the cultivation, and meditate and pray to that Drapsaha, the melted one who flows down as the rain, so desired by people. I'm giving you the word meaning, but also if you don't connect all of that in the context of what is it that you are meditating upon, what you are meditating upon is that has flowed down. Dram, Ardram, Ardram. Yesterday only we talked about that. Ardra, Ardra is the star's name. Ardra is an incredible star. That star represents compassion, total love, and that which flows down. Dram. Dram is the root bija mantra of Dattatreya Swami. Om Dram Sri Sai Ram Pahimam. We chant no. Om Dram Sri Sai Ram Rakshamam. Followed by that, Hey Parameshwara, Deenadayalu, Sainatha, Kurudeva Kripalu, Raksha Raksha Jagadishwara Sai, Artatrana Parayana Sai. Because of the Arti means yearning, Ardra that flows, Dram downwards, in compassion as rain, and all of it is coming because of this sun's rays, which is the root of production of the rain, and that is coming down for the sake of cultivation, for as desired by the people. Meditate upon all of this. Hey, you're all still awake, huh? So how incredible all of this is. It sounds like very these Brahmanas mantras, when you look at them as very simple translations. Oh, what is that now? What is this all to do with? What is it they're asking me to meditate upon? Amshumati matishtatu. Amshumati. Now, every word has a symbolic connection to all of this. Now, the previous mantra is saying the one he has become the Brahman, and he has now Drapsaha, he has melted. The nature of this Brahman, the fundamental nature is the love and the compassion that melts and flows down. And what melts, what is melting coming down is because of the prayers of the Nrumanam. Nrumanam. Nrumana means people. Nru is the Shabdam. Nrupa. When you say Nrupa, Nrupa. How many times in Devi Mahatyam the word Nrupa comes?
But they speak Tulu. Yeah. She's to Udupi, Bangalore, Udupi. Those areas are Tulu. Whatever
Hey,
cost,
Chandraksha.
they speak Tulu.
Hey, Sairam, Chandraksha. Yo, Ramakrishna, what is this person doing? He's in a fish market. So, Nrumana Mathadram iti. So, I'm giving you the meanings and connecting the dots for you. So, when the people pray, our Drapsaha, he melts. And which kind of people pray? Amshumati. Mati Amshumati. Pure, unsullied, elevated, enchanted minds among the people pray, then it melts. Who melts? He melts. He melts and comes down as infinite pour of this love and compassion, Dashabihi Sahasraihi. For what purpose? For you to cultivate those divine qualities. And then when that is coming down, it is making the thunderous sound. Hey, listen to me. I am coming down for you. Indraha Shachya Dhamantam Avartam. Avartam means all encompassing or frequently. So that is the essence of this mantra. Meditate upon this whole process of water cycle. What has happened with the Rutus and everything, the total thing they are bringing into this context of this Brahmana, the supreme teaching. Let's go to the next two lines. Etayaivendra sala vrukya saha
एतयैवेन्द्रः सलावृक्या सह
asuran parivrishchati.
असुरान् परिवृश्चति.
Right. Etayaivendra sala vrukya saha
एतयैवेन्द्रः सलावृक्या सह एतयैवेन्द्रः सलावृक्या सह
asuran parivrishchati.
असुरान् परिवृश्चति. असुरान् परिवृश्चति.
Etayaivendra salavrukya saha asuran parivrishchati.
एतयैवेन्द्रः सलावृक्या सह असुरान् परिवृश्चति.
Etaya eva indraha salavrukya saha asuran parivrishchati. Indraha etaya eva, for this salavrukya saha, for that which is in need of this waters. Sala avrukya. Sala means salila. Salila means water. Avrukya means that which is now to be drenched with this water. Saha, totally, for the need of drenching the earth with waters. Asuran parivrishchati. Asuran, asura. Asura is an incredible symbolism here. Asuran means the demons. Parivrishchati means he will completely dispel them. Dispel them, all the asuras. That is one interpretation. But the word asura also means clouds. Parivrishchati means will spread. In order for this, etaya eva, indraha, the Indra, salavrukya saha, for in order to drench the earth with the water, will spread the clouds all over. That means what? Indra has spread the clouds to bring the rain onto the earth, which is ready to gulp the rain waters. And here the word asura can be interpreted as both clouds, asura and sura. You know what actually the root of those, the dhatus of the word sura. Sura means that which shines. Asura means which does not shine. So the asura means that which is dark or that which blocks the light. So in this context, asura instead of demons is more appropriate to the clouds, because the clouds block the light that is coming down, and the earth is yearning to receive the rain and gulp the water. Prithivya shumati
पृथिव्यगुं शुमति
tamanvavasthitaha
तामन्ववस्थितः
tamanvavasthitas samvatsaro divancha.
तामन्ववस्थितः संवत्सरो दिवञ्च
Those two
ताम
lines.
तामन्ववस्थितः संवत्सरो दिवञ्च संवत्सरो दिवञ्च.
Okay. Prithivya shumati
पृथिव्यगुं शुमति पृथिव्यगुं शुमति
tamanvavasthitas samvatsaro divancha.
तामन्ववस्थितः संवत्सरो दिवञ्च तामन्ववस्थितः संवत्सरो दिवञ्च.
Very good. Very proud of your chanting. So much clarity. Pruthivyagum shumati tamanvavasthitas samvatsaro divancha.
पृथिव्यगुं शुमति तामन्ववस्थितः संवत्सरो दिवञ्च
Prithvi amshumati. Now, the previous lines we said, avadrapso amshumati atishtatu. So now there amshumati, what does amshumati means? In this mantra it is saying Prithvi, the earth, is amshumati. Prithvi is amshumati. What is amshumati? Amshumati means that which bears medicinal plants, that which has the ability to heal. The earth, that which bears these multiple plants, tam amshumati, Prithvi tam amshumati, anu avasthitaha, anu avasthitaha, samvatsaraha divancha. So what is saying? Tam anu avasthitaha becomes tamanvavasthitaha. So the tam is applied to the previous mantra. Prithvi tam amshumati. Prithvi, that is the amshumati, that which bears the medicinal plants. Anu avasthitaha, it exists in concordance. It exists in concordance. Anu means follows. Anu avasthitaha. It exists following the what? Samvatsaraha. following the Lord Samvatsara. Divancha. Cha means also. Divam means the sky. Oh, I know. This is too much. So, essentially what he's saying is, this earth is a beautiful healer, and this earth exists in concordance or actually connected to the sky because of this samvatsara. So the existence of the earth itself is to be concordant with the sky. The sky and the earth are concordant with each other through this thing called samvatsara. The earth responds to the sky, and the response to the sky and the connection to the earth, of the sky to the earth, is because of samvatsara. This, how supreme these principles are. So in the context of this, the earth and the sky are connected to each other as partners, and that connection is the divine connection through samvatsara. So that means the earth actually, its existence is in concordance with what is in the sky, and the sky's existence is in concordance with the earth. The connection between the two is samvatsara. The earth and the sky, the sun and the earth. So the connection between the earth and the sky is the sun. And that sun is samvatsara. And he is the Lord that is connecting the two. So Amshu means Oshadhi or meditation. The common word we understand for the Mother Earth is Vasumati. There Vasu means that which nourishes. Amshumati means that which heals. Vasumati means that which nourishes. Amshumati is that which heals. This mantra basically states that the earth and sky are connected by the rain that is enabled by the samvatsara, and that samvatsara has melted down as the rain and connected the sky and the earth. Just keep listening to it and absorb. One of the things that you are, as a student, has to do is unconditionally listen. Means don't think while you are absorbing something. Listen, completely listen and absorb. And then what happens is, while you are listening, if you are thinking, you are not truly listening. Because there is noise in the background. And whoever that fellow is in the fish market with a lot of people talking, I don't know what environment that person is joining the class and what purpose. If you can't dedicate that concentration and attention and focus, these mantras won't mean anything. There will be we all chant the mantras because it has become a purpose. Become a process of chanting without any understanding or awareness of the mantra. Now in the next set of the mantras, all this concept of this connection of this Rutumandala with the earth and the sky and the Samvatsara, everything is brought into a beautiful, incredible teaching. Let's look at that. That's why I said focus, concentrate. Naivam vidushacharyan vasinau.
नैवं विदुषाचार्यान्ते वासिनौ
Anyonyasmai druhyatam.
अन्योन्यस्मै द्रुह्याताम्
Yo druhyati
Yo druhyati
Bhrasyate Swargallokat.
Bhrashyate Swargalokat.
Naivam Vidushacarya Ante Vasinau.
Naivam Vidushacarya Ante Vasinau. Om Naivam Vidushacarya Ante Vasinau.
Anyonyasmai idruhyatam.
Anyonyasmai idruhyatam. Anyonyasmai idruhyatam.
Yo druhyati.
Yo druhyati. Yo druhyati.
Bhrasyate Swargalokat.
Bhrashyate Swargalokat. Bhrashyate Swargalokat.
Naivam Vidushacarya Ante Vasinau. Anyonyasmai idruhyatam. Yo druhyati bhrasyate swarga lokat.
Naivam Vidushacarya Ante Vasinau. Anyonyasmai idruhyatam. Yo druhyati Bhrashyate Swargalokat.
I can tell you that fellow who is chanting after me is 100% focused because he has never chanted these mantras before, right? Correct?
Mm.
He's chanting it for the first time. How many of you on this class will be able to exactly reproduce every aspect of pronunciation, intonation, duration, frication, continuity, all those principles, listening it for the first time and reproduce it for the first time? That is what is called total attention. Total attention happens only in love. In love only there is total attention. Total attention is love. For many of us, this chanting, this Veda mantras is like a hobby. Most of it starts after you're done with your worldly life and retirement. Then suddenly you wake up and you say, oh my God, what do I do with this time? Oh, there is this guy called Shekhar Buddipalli. He's taking some class. Let me go spend half an hour, 45 minutes, 1 hour with him, listen to whatever it is. And then that's it, man. I am not trying to say this. I'm only trying to provoke your minds to say, is that what you are here in the class for? Or are you really here in order to study this with steadiness so that your total love and attention goes into it, at least while you are in the class, and what you need to do as the follow-up, then it will be retained. And when you retain it and you chant, then with that retention, if you go teach somebody else, then only they will learn properly. Otherwise, don't teach people because you just learned some mantras and now you want to show to other people that you can teach them. So naivam, now what it is, what I am talking about is not irrelevant to this mantra. Na evam vidusha acharyante vasinau anyonyasmai druhyata. The one who understands this, evam vidusha, the one who understands this, Acharya Antevasino, Acharya means the Acharya. Acharya means the one who is practicing and passing this on. To who? The one who is conducting the ritual. Antevasino. Acharyaha is the one who is the priest, the conductor, the chief priest. And Antevasino, the one who is performing the ritual. Anyonyasmai, for each other. Na druhyatam. They should not cause any conflict or contradiction between each other. If the learner and the teacher, if they are not completely aligned in attention and synchronicity, there will be conflict and contradiction. If they are completely aligned, if they are together, the interface of the teacher and the interface of the learner, when they are completely aligned in total attention to each other, there will not be any conflict or contradiction. Otherwise, there will be conflict and contradiction. The learning happens only at the interface of the total attention of the disciple from the teacher and the teacher to the disciple. Druhyatam. Druhyatam. Druhya. From the word druhya came droha. Droham. Mitradrohi. Swamidrohi. Drohi means the one who is conflicted. The one who is conflicted. Now we are all saying, why suddenly Shekharji is talking about how this guy is completely listening, how he is completely attention and chanting. The mantra is saying that. I am not saying that. Na evam vidusha acharyante acharya acharya antevasinav. Both of them together. The acharya and the antevasinav. Now what happens? The acharya and antevasinav also with respect to the yajna, the ritual. The performer of the ritual and the acharya who is conducting the ritual, both of them should be completely aligned without any conflict. What happens if there is conflict? Yo druhyati bhrasyate svargalokat. Those that are in such conflict or contradiction, bhrasyate, they will fall down. From where? Svargalokat, from up above. The heavenly worlds. Means what? During the conduction of this ritual, they're together journeying towards this higher level of consciousness. That is what is called Swarga. For heaven's sake, don't think that there is some heaven up there, and don't waste your life thinking about the heaven which nobody has seen and come back and report it to you. You understand what I'm saying? Don't believe in this stuff called there is some heaven, and if I do all this, I will go to heaven. I have not seen anybody that went to heaven, came back and told me, yeah, I went there, man. It's like very nice vacation. Can you also come with me? And it is only ignorance and stupidity that points out, you do this, you go to heaven. Yes, sorry, I'm being very clear here. If you are taking this to your heart, you won't get hurt. If you take it to your head, you will get hurt. It is your head that hurts, not the heart. So this connection between the two, the conductor of the ritual and the one who is conducting the ritual, their hearts should be completely aligned. Now why I am bringing this up? This incredible ignorance of you call a priest to conduct a Satyanarayana Vratam or some function in your house, and then he tells you the protocol to follow. But instead of listening to him and following the protocol, you tell the priest, that this is the time I have. In 2.5 hours, you have to fit everything. And why? Because this is not a ritual that you are caring for to bring two souls together. This is a cultural function and a function in which you want everybody to come and eat, throw some akshatas, and get out of there after their tummies are filled. Neither they care about the harmony of the two souls, nor do you care, because you, as the conductor of the ritual, has not listened to the Brahman who has come to conduct that ritual. Arey yaar, this may hurt some people, but let it hurt them. For that sake, don't conduct the ritual. Don't call a bloody priest. Don't call him and insult him by telling him what to do. Don't call the priest. But if you call the priest, listen to him. Then only you are doing justice to the ritual. Otherwise, call a few people, ask the two children to extend garlands, and you ask them all, throw some akshatas, let's all go have food and be happy afterwards. Why do you need a priest for that? But you want to do something that is imperfectly perfect. Because you will feel guilty, oh my God, the priest did not come and chant the mantras, and therefore my ritual is not complete. Oh, whoever is having their children married or going to get married, don't take it to heart. Oh, sorry. Take it to heart. That's not what I am saying. That is what the mantra is saying. The mantra is saying, Naivam vidushacharyaante vasinau anyonyasmai druhyatam yo druhyati bhrasyate swargalokat. I am not saying that. It's the Veda mantra that is saying that. I am explaining to you in plain English so that you understand it. The same thing with respect to any aspect of doing something in our lives. You go to a class, you better listen to the teacher with full attention and follow the instructions given by the teacher and be in synchrony with what needs to be done for the class. Otherwise, you are a drohi. You are a conflicted person. You are 100% conflicted if you call a priest and you don't conduct the ritual according to what he wants you to do. You are conflicted because inside you, your conscience will say, oh my God, he asked me to do that. But I told him, sorry, sir, we don't have time for that. People will come only for 2 hours. Can you please conclude this only in 2 hours? Then inside you will be conflicted. Because the conscience inside you say, hey, you called the priest, he's asking you really to do this, but you did not do this. Why? Because your interest is not in the priest and what he tells you to do. Your interest is in the guests and pleasing them. The same thing happens when Satyanarayana Puja, whatever ritual you conduct at home, the same drama happens. Naivam vidushaacharya ante vasinau. Acharya ante vasinau na evam vidusha. Na evam vidusha. They have to understand this completely. The performer and the conductor of the ritual, the teacher and the disciple, anyonyasmai, for each other, nadruhyatam, should not be conflicted. If they are, yah druhyati, in case of that conflict, bhrasyate swargalokat. Now what will happen? Both of them will fall down from a higher consciousness. Both of them fall down means what? The fellow that is coming and the priest, if he has agreed to not doing the ritual properly and listens to you and does it because in 2.5 hours he can get $1,500 for performing a marriage or $500 for doing a Satyarayana Puja, whatever, for the sake of getting the money, He has fallen down from his principle and said, yes, yes, it's okay. Actually, 2.5 hours is too much time. Let us condense it to 2 hours. It's good for him only. For him, he's making more money in a short time. And we are so stupid. He is also equivalently stupid. Both two stupid people came together and both have fallen down in their consciousness. Nayevam vidushacharyanте vasinav anyonyasmai druhyatam bhrashyate swargalokat. Now applying that to a teacher and a student. If the teacher does not hold the student to the principles of dedication, discipline, and attention of a class, and only conducts a class because it is his own discourse, and doesn't hold the student accountable for the study and the class, both the teacher and the student will fall. Do not go to the teachers. Do not engage with those students. You listen to this very carefully here. This is a beautiful message that is being given here. A life lesson. That is the reason why we say, let there not be conflict. Let there not be conflict in what? To be together, to be nourished together, to have our studies shine our intellects, and therefore to work together with great vigor so that there is no conflict. What am I talking about? What mantra I am talking about?
Sahanavavatu, Sahanava.
Now you understand? What does it mean, the word conflict or contradiction or hate? Why it came in that mantra? Sahanavavatu, Sahanau Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavagai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavagagai. Let there be no conflict or contradiction. What is the conflict or contradiction or hate? What is it? It is not to be together. It is not to be learning together. It is not to be illumining our intellects together. It is not to be working together with great vigor. When you don't do those things, you are conflicted. Both the guy that is teaching you and you both are conflicted. So I did not talk about all the stuff because it is my class and you all have to be grateful. None of that stuff is nothing about this individual. But each one has their responsibility, and in that shared responsibility, in that shared accountability, both will rise together. How will they rise together? Just like the earth and the sky are together. That is the context of Agum Shumati Matishtatu. Tamanvavistaf Pridivyo Divi Asamvatsaro Divancha. All that previous mantra that you are learning is because of this partnership and the harmony between the earth and the sky that is connected by this thing called Samvatsara, which is not the seasons are the ones that are connecting these two, and they're operating as partnerships without any conflict with each other. And because the earth and the sky and the sun are operating without conflict with each other, there is prosperity on the earth. Therefore, in tens and thousands, the shower of rain has drenched the mother earth, who gives the herbs for healing and food for nourishment. And that food for nourishment and the healing will not come if the earth and the sky and the sun are not operating in conflict with each other. Now you see, are we studying Rudram or are we studying what life is? How to live? How to live our lives is what Veda is teaching. Veda is not a scripture that is relevant to only some stupid people who worship idols. Veda is not about that. Veda is about awareness in our own lives. And how many different ways this awareness is brought together at individual level, at collective level, at creation level, at creator level. So this last mantra of Rutu Mandala, how it is concluding? How with a beautiful teaching it is concluding. Then it says, It Rutu Mandalani. Ityurutumandalani.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि
Ityurutumandalani.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि
Ityurutumandalani. Correct. You are saying
इत्यऋतु
it correctly. Yeah.
okay.
Ityurutumandalani.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि
Suryamandalanyakhyayikaah.
सूर्यमण्डलान्याख्यायिकाः
Suryamandalanyakhyayikaah.
सूर्यमण्डलान्याख्यायिकाः
Ataha ata urdhvagum sanirvachanaah.
अत ऊर्ध्वगुं सनिर्वचनाः
Ityurutumandalani.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि
Ityurutumandalani.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि
Suryamandala anyakhyayikaah.
सूर्यमण्डलान्याख्यायिकाः सूर्यमण्डलान्याख्यायिकाः
Ata urdhvagum sanirvachanaah.
अत ऊर्ध्वगुं सनिर्वचनाः अत ऊर्ध्वगुं सनिर्वचनाः
Ityurutumandalani. Suryamandala anyakhyayikaah. Ata urdhvagum ata urdhvagum sanirvachanaah.
इत्यऋतुमण्डलानि सूर्यमण्डलान्याख्यायिकाः अत ऊर्ध्वगुं सनिर्वचनाः
Iti. Here is the conclusion of the nature of Rutumandala. The constellation of the Rutus are the seasons. Akhyayika. So the words are iti, Rutumandalani, Suryamandalani, Akhyayikaah, Ataha, Urdhvam, Sanirvachanah. Those are the words. Iti, here it is, the conclusion of the nature of Rutumandala. Iti, Rutumandala becomes Ityurutumandala. Ityurutumandalani. Ityurutumandalani. Akhyayika, what is named as Ata Surya Mandala, constellation of the Surya, Sanirvachanah, will be elaborated Urtvaha in the upcoming mantras. So that there ends, that is the conclusion of the Rutu Mandala. Then there is this thing named as Surya Mandala. We will get into that Surya Mandala in the upcoming mantra, Urdhvam Sanirvachanah. So this mantra, this last mantras, especially the last few lines, is an incredible Brahmana teaching. It is the underlying principles of the constellation of the Rutus. If you look at what we have studied through entire Rutu Mandala, how it started, where it started, after the flow of time described, Anushascha Mahasascha Sarve Samavayantritam Satai Sarvai Samavishtaha Urusanna Nivartate Adhisamvatsaram Vidya Tadeva Lakshane Anubhischa Mahadbhischa Samarudhav Pradrishyate Pataro Viklitah Pingaha. So there it is talking about the context of time and everything. Then we get into the Sakanjanagum Saptadhamahurekajam Shadudyamarutayo Devaja Iti. See, Rishayo Devaja Iti. That's where it started. The description of the Rutumandala with the one ray becoming the 7 rays, and how the combination, permutation, combination of that started resulting in this phenomenon in the nature as the different Rutus, and how that regulates the water flow from the sky to the earth. And in that aspect of it, the earth receives that flow for the purpose of cultivation of agriculture and production of sumptuous food that also heals. In that way, the mother is both Vasumati and Amshumati. All this process is facilitated by other divine aspects of the nature, such as the Indra, Varuna, Vayu, Agni, and so on. Even more fundamental, the Mother Earth is a great partner to the sky, connected by the supreme consciousness called as the Samvatsara. And when you actually when you understand the Bhusuktam, same mantras are now elaborated with respect to the point of the view of the Mother Earth, how she is such a great partner. The partnership between the sky and the earth is the partnership that is invoked in the Veda mantras during the wedding of two individuals. And there also it implies that the two individuals who are connected by this divine bondage of the divine love, they operate without conflict with each other. The conflict arises because of lack of proper flow or understanding that their partnership is because of the divinity, not because of liking and disliking of each other. When that dawns in, then you give up all this. I like my wife, I like my husband, I like what she does or I like he does. This liking and disliking is what creates a conflict. But the moment you recognize that we are two partners in this divine thing called supreme consciousness, it doesn't matter what she likes, what you like, he likes, what she likes. This liking and disliking is what is creating the conflict, and the entire thing is about conflict only. And what this mantra is highlighting is the same principle applies between a teacher and a student. The same principle applies between the priest and the performer of the ritual. The same principles should be followed through in perfect harmony in divine consciousness. Let's take the teaching. The description of this Rutumandala therefore concludes with this supreme teaching. Like the partnership between the earth and the sky, a seamless partnership must exist between a teacher and a student, a priest and a yajamana, a wife and a husband. And the ritual that is being performed is a yajna. The wife and husband are the two that are performing this yajna of life, in which the wife receives, or the female receives, the ability to hold and conduct, the ability to pass on the legacy through the generation. Putravatvaya me suta. And in that context of that partnership, when you conduct your life as a yajna or a ritual, there will be no conflict that will occur in the yajna of life. Such is what is called dharma. And now that we have understood that, Sahana Vavatu, now the mantra becomes more meaningful. If that is not the case, yo druhyati bhrasyate svargalokat. Svargaloka is not somewhere else. Svargaloka is rising the mind above your gross mundane consciousness to a higher level. In this perfect harmony of life between two people, or between a teacher and a student, a performer and a priest, and wife and a husband, and all of this stuff, both are elevated to a higher state of love. And if there is a conflict that arises, both will fall from love. Love is the heavenly world. Svargalokat is the place where it is a higher state of mind. Bhrasyate svargalokat. Yo druhyati bhrasyate svargalokat. Surya Mandalanyakhyayaka atha urdhvagum sanirvachana. Let us get into the Surya Mandala will be the next set of Anuvaka, which is another beautiful aspect about the principles of sun and how they are related, most importantly, to our own existence and living. With that, let's chant Yadaksharpada Brashtam. Chandrasekhar Ganeshan, please.
ॐ यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव प्रसीद तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव प्रसीद परमेश्वर
नारायण नमोस्तुते.
विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु.
Okay. Are there any questions? No questions.
Not question, like generally some people say Hinduism is a way of living, it's not a religion. People say, right? So I think I'm getting why they say it's a way of living, because of like the whatever we are learning here in the Arunam and other things, it's like we are kind of being taught to live with the nature.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with Hinduism.
Yeah, like way of living, right?
No, that's not called Hinduism. Vedas is not about Hinduism. What Vedas are teaching is an eternal way of living. That's why we should say that that's the reason why Swami has said that Vedas is not for Hindus. Vedas are for humans. If you are a human being, you should learn Veda. If you are otherwise, you can go read other scriptures. Okay. Because what Veda is teaching is how to be a human with expansion consciousness at individual level, collective level, creation level, creator level. As Bhagavan calls it beautifully, from Vyashti to Samashti to Srishti to Parameshti. And that doesn't just apply to Hindus. That doesn't just apply to Hindus. Okay, just a correction to you. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Sairam, Brother Shekhar, this is Lakshmi. So what you're saying is that there should not be any conflict between the various pairs you were mentioning, like husband, wife, teacher, and the disciple. That is the ultimate goal. But in a practical situation, we'll find all levels of harmony or synchronization. So how do we accommodate that as we move along or when we come across the other variables? Saira.
So the this is very important, very powerful question. What is conflict? What is conflict?
Differences in thinking at a thought level.
Differences at thinking is conflict. Okay, that's one aspect of conflict. Anybody else? Do you have a definition of what is conflict?
Lack of understanding.
Lack of common understanding. Okay, that is conflict. Yes.
Differences
Who
in
else?
opinion.
That's what she said.
Lack of oneness, lack of thinking oneness.
Lack of thought in oneness. Okay. Yeah, please. Anybody else?
Likes
Ego.
versus dislikes.
Ma? What is this, Chandrasekhara?
Likes what I like versus what the other person do not like. Or there's a
Likes and dislikes lead to conflict. Differences of opinion leads to conflict. Differences in understanding. 1 second, please. Differences in understanding leads to conflicts. That's what I have heard so far. Anybody else has anything more to add? Don't. If somebody already said it, don't repeat it.
Being
Please.
egoistic.
Huh?
Being egoistic.
Being egoistic creates conflict. Okay, what is being egoistic?
Mm.
What does the word being egoistic mean, Ma?
Superior, feeling superior.
Feeling
Like,
superior to others. Okay. Anything? Anybody else?
I'm more focused on an individual.
More focused. That's what she said. Egoistic is selfishness. That's what she said. Relates to ego. Okay. Self-centeredness creates conflict. What else?
Ignorance.
Ignorance of what?
So it can encompass a wide range of issues. Ignorance in not understanding the other person's point of view. Ignorance towards not having the complete knowledge about something and thinking you're right, which is egoistic. So ignorance in any form.
Okay. What is ignorance is an unanswerable question.
True.
Okay. So the conflict is not because of ignorance, because ignorance is bliss. If you are ignorant, you never get into conflict. What is there to be getting into conflict for an ignorant person? He's unaware.
Well, if you
So,
act on it, then it leads to conflict. If you are unaware and you don't act on it, that's fine. You're in bliss.
yeah.
So I think greed is also one of them, actually. Greed is
okay. Now we can go into all the 6 vices, and everything is a conflict now. When does conflict arise? Fundamentally, if you go to the root of how conflict arises, the root of it.
Lack of love.
Sairam, your turn is over. lack of love. You can come up with so many ways, but you are not coming to the root. You are all describing the symptoms. You are not going to the root of the disease.
Poor communication.
Sairam. No more communication. Yes, all of that. They're all
When
symptoms.
you have conflict within yourself.
When you have conflict within yourself, you see now that is getting us somewhere. Conflict is not with somebody else. Conflict arises within yourself first. Now, please listen to this carefully now. The conflict is not with other person. The conflict is within you. The moment you understand what is the root of my conflict, and that conflict exists because there is a lack of alignment between the observer and the observed. Yes. Am I speaking English so far? Am I speaking English so far? I hope so, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So you are the observer. You are observing something. When there is a lack of alignment between the observer and what is being observed, then there is a conflict. So fundamentally for each of us, when we look at things, there are three things. There is the observer, there is the observed, and there is the tool with which you are observing. So what is it you are seeing something? You are seeing something with a tool called the eyes. The process of observing enabled by the tool, the instrument, you are observing something and you are the observer. So the conflict arises when there is lack of alignment between all those three things. So now what all you said will be completely answered with the definition. Lack of alignment. What is lack of alignment? Not lack of alignment with somebody else. Lack of alignment in the fundamental aspect of how you see certain thing, and what you are observing is not aligned with what you are saying. Now you can go back to the same principle of a wife and a husband, a priest and a performer. All those things will fit into that category. You want a ritual to be conducted one way, and the priest is telling you to conduct the ritual another way. So the priest, what you are observing with the priest is not aligned with the observer. So the observer and the observed are not aligned. Conflict arises.
Can you explain this with in terms of nature and humans?
So now you see, that's a very beautiful question because it's related to the mantra we are studying. How did the mantra studying? Tasmai sarve rutavo namante maryada karatvat prapurodham brahmana apnoti ya evam veda. What is that mantra saying? What you are observing in the nature, how you are perceiving that nature, and how you conduct yourself in the context of what is happening externally, they're not aligned. So when they're not aligned, when you are aligned and there is perfect harmony with respect to the inside and the outside, that is peace. Peace means no conflict. And yesterday I went through that in an elaborated way. The nature and ourselves, the earth, the sun, the moon, all the 8 aspects of it, our existence, how are we aligned, and is our observation aligned with ourselves? When the observed, the observer, and all of them merge, and there is total harmony between the three, that is called peace, and there is no conflict. Now, this is not related to your opinion and all of that stuff. My opinion not aligned with somebody else's opinion and all of that stuff, right? Then the conflict that you are seeing within yourself, you cannot operate anymore because there is a complete discrepancy between how you perceive certain things. And now this goes back also to the mantra that we chanted, that we learned before, related to the friends. Ko Maria amitita sakha sakhaya babravit jaha ko asmadishate yastitya jasakhe vidagum sakhayam. Same principle is two friends. One friend is conflicted because He doesn't understand what the other friend is saying. Therefore, he abandons that other friend. And therefore, how do you align with that conflict? When you go in the context of uh, engaging a priest for doing something, unconditionally, you have to align. Otherwise, what it is conflicted. Then why do you need a priest? Go do whatever you want to do. You understand? You can't have that. They'll call the priest home and they start telling them what mantra they have to say. This is even more atrocious. It's complete control freakiness is the conflict. You want to control what you are observing. That is the next level of conflict, which is very incredible. Now you become a control freak. What you want to have a control over what you are observing, because it creates conflict. Okay. Then there is this thing called ideals and images that create conflict. You have certain way of perceiving things as ideal. And then you see somebody not aligned with that ideal. There is a constant internal struggle. Then there are emotions that arise within, like whatever it is, the fear or those kind of things. Then you want to run away from fear by doing something else. It's like, a cat that is drinking milk closing its eyes, and it thinks that nobody is watching it. When we were kids, we used to cover ourselves with blankets when it is raining, thinking that the rain will not affect us. you see how silly some of these things in our lives, huh? So what we are saying, this conflict arises because you are not aligned with the observed. That's the root of conflict. Oh, thank you for that question, Lakshmi. Very beautiful.
Thank you, brother.
Very beautiful question. So what is required to end the conflict? To end the conflict, you should have awareness and not control. When you ask a question, you automatically know there is answer in the question you asked. Conflict ends when you have completeness of understanding and awareness. Do not suppress it. If you suppress it, it will turn into much bigger conflict. When you have fear, don't run away from fear or hide somewhere to avoid the fear. Face the fear. Fear is something. Yes, I want to look at it. I want to look at it more closely, clearly. And in that, you will resolve the conflict. So self-awareness through direct observation and not controlling what you are observing. Sairam. In life, a conflict arises because you have certain way of doing things, certain way of the bed sheet should be on the bed, certain way how the furniture has to be organized in the room. And you tell some person, please organize the furniture. It is not aligned with what you think. Then there is conflict. How can you arrange this furniture like this? Don't you know that I don't like it this way? Boom, 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 boom. And the fellow will organize the furniture without saying any damn thing. That's why it's called husband, never smiles. Sairam. Okay, I'm distracted from the conversation. Any other question? No conflict.
Just to look at it from a different perspective. So can there be a conflict, or I believe there is a conflict between whom I am thinking I am versus whom I am really is. That is
yes.
also.
Yes. The observer and the observed are not aligned. It is root. Just think about those two words: the observer, the observed, and the process of observation. All the three, or at least the observer and the observed, are not aligned, then there is conflict. So you observe yourself, and you as the observed is not aligned with what you observe about yourself, there is conflict. Internal conflict. Conflict is not with outside, actually. Conflict is always inside. It is you. You have to take responsibility for that conflict and become aware and the root of that conflict, then it disappears. Don't blame it on the other person.
So Anna, so in this process, right? So how do we see the subject in order to become aware of the subject, so that the object disappears and become harmony or unity with the how part?
No, as I already mentioned, the how part is really about when you have total understanding and awareness of certain thing, automatically there will not be any conflict. Therefore, the mantra is saying, Sahana vavatu, let us be together. Sahana bhunaktu, let us be nourished together. Sahaviryam karavavahai. That means all of this is saying you are removing the aberration between the media that exists between the two. Therefore, you as the observer and the observed, when it goes through certain media, there is distortion, and the distortion is eliminated when there is no media. You understand? That now somebody said communication, there's so many words that were used. Huh? All of them fit into that. You can go back and write down everything what you think, and then you say, okay, what is the discrepancy? Okay, I'm observing something. What I'm observing, what is observed is not same as observer. Therefore, there is conflict. Sairam, that is we can go on the analysis around it. Every individual has an internal metric about that level of awareness. Lack of awareness is fundamentally there is a denial. You deny that there is a conflict within you and you have created the conflict. When you deny that, you go into more and more conflict. So it's rather, and it is even more beautiful to take responsibility and acknowledge and say, hey, I'm not seeing it this way. And perhaps we don't see it together. And then either you come to an alignment and you see it together so that the discrepancy between the observer and the observed is minimized, or you have no conflict with it at all internally. Oh my God, I went to this Robben Island in Cape Town, watching how many years that guy, Nelson Mandela, was in that small cell for how many number of years. And when he comes out of that cell and the apartheid and all that stuff, he had no conflict with the people that had put him in a cell and treated him so horribly for 2 decades. He comes out and he says, let us work together. Can you imagine what kind of a mind and the awareness it is? He did not have any conflict. And the same thing with Mahatma. He did not have any conflict with the Britishers. If there is conflict, there will be violence. Internal violence first. Internal violence. You become violent internally to yourself, and that gets expressed as external violence. So internally, when there is total alignment, that means what? Nelson Mandela never looked at him being a political prison for that many number of years as a conflict within himself. That is a supreme, it is really supreme. And Nelson Mandela is of our own age and generation, such an incredible example of total harmony within yourself. Total harmony within yourself is nothing to do with external. Sairam. Okay. Any other questions? It's
Anna,
too
then
late for you.
can we relate this to climate change, whatever?
I don't know. Okay. You can relate to whatever you want, whichever creates conflicts in you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so the conflict that she's talking about is the reason why there is environmental disaster is because we have never looked at nature as something which has to be harmonious within ourselves. We treated it as a separate entity. Therefore, there is a lack of alignment of the inner self with the outer thing. That is the whole reason for the debacle of how we are seeing our Mother Earth is being destroyed. Yes.
Yeah, it's
Exploitation. Yeah.
It's the same question which I asked human and nature, because the recent incident at Switzerland, the glacier collapse and the destruction of the complete village, it's a sequence which started somewhere else, the climate change. But what happened in Swiss was because of that, which is happening somewhere else actually. Yeah.
Yes. So that is what the whole Rutumandala is also talking about very beautifully. What you observing, the appearance, everything, as Swami says, as the 3 R's, the reaction, the reflection, and the resound is internal imposition on external. What your lack of alignment within your own observer and observed, instead of going into deeply with awareness, you immediately place that on the external object. It has nothing to do with me. That person is the one that caused the conflict. So you have not taken responsibility for lack of alignment within yourself. That's the reason why I brought up Nelson Mandela. He never looked at it as a conflict because he never thought the other people were violent to him. Huh? That means what? There is so much forgiveness in that heart that it has never taken any abuse personally. You see what I'm saying? He has not personalized everything that he has gone through in 20-25 years of his life and placed the blame on somebody else, because whatever he did to them did not affect him. Therefore, he was able to come out of the prison and tell the other people, let us work together. Yes, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, Sairam. There are no more questions. We'll close next week. Next week we'll have the classes as usual. On the 14th we have the Ekadash Rudrabhishekam, and on the 15th there is the global Sai Gayatri chanting that is happening on 15th. So we will start the class on the Father's Day 1 hour late after the global Sai Gayatri chanting is completed. I already adjusted the calendar. If you open the Veda study calendar, it will be automatically adjusted to your time. Okay. Okay, let's close with the Swasti Mantra if there are no more questions. Oh, this mantra, Prithvi Shanta, Sagnina Shanta, Same Shanta, Shuchagum Shamayatu, Antarikshagum Shantam, Tadvayuna Shantam, Tanme Shantagum Shuchagum Shamayatu, Jau Shanta, Adityena Shanta, Same Shanta, Shuchagum Shamayatu, Prithvi Shantir, Antarikshagum Shantir, Jau Shantir, Disha Shantir, Avantar Disha Shanti, Rashva Shanti, that Agni Shantir, Vayu Shanti, Chandrama Shanti, Nakshatrani Shanti, Apashanti, Oshadaya Shanti, Vanaspataya Shanti, Gyau Shanti, Raja Shanti, Rashva Shanti, Purusha Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Brahmana Shanti, Shantireva Shanti, Shantirme Astu Shanti. This is total non-conflict. There is total synchrony with all the things. How many things are counted? including Shanti Reva Shanti. May there be Shanti to Shanti. What a powerful mantra there. Tayahagum Shantya Sarvashantya Makhyan Dvipade Chatushpade Cha Shanting Karomi Shantirme Astu Shantihi. Prithvi Shanti. Everything, if you go write down the list of how many things I have no conflict, should not have any conflict with, and I am completely aligned and synchronized with that. That is the actual Shanti mantra. And that is total synchrony of what is outside with what is inside, without any discrepancy between the observed, the observer, and the tool that is observing. Om Swastif Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Lokah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba Ji ki.
Jai